This morning on DC News Now, a man stabbing a family member with a spear shot and killed by police in Maryland. The latest on the investigation. Humid with stray showers and storms around for your Tuesday. Seasonable highs today and heating up later this week. Meteorologist Jackie Layer has the latest. In parade pushback.
I think it was something we did, but I guess we're doing it.
I'm just so happy and I'm so proud of the military.
Fences go up as neighborhoods are split on the Army's 250th birthday celebration. Putting in the work pro bono.
The legal system is confusing, and if you don't have the right lawyer, it can be disastrous.
A local lawyer's mission to provide legal help to those who can't afford it. And grin and bear it. This black bear roaming around a DMV neighborhood for the third time this past month.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning and thanks for starting your Tuesday with us here on DC News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Tanaya Wright. We'll get to your top stories in just a minute, but first, we do want to get to Jackie with a check on our forecast this morning. Jackie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tanaya. Out there right now, we do have some reduced visibility for parts of the area. We're talking about a little bit of that patchy, dense fog to kickstart this morning. Down about a mile in Culpeper, 4 miles in Hagerstown. Not too much right around the DC metro area, but over towards Annapolis, we have that reduction in visibility down about 4 miles thanks to that fog there. Temperatures are starting off in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Another warm start to the day along with a humid start as well. Dew point starting off right around 70 at this point for DC, Manassas, Leesburg as well. That's a tropical feel to the air, almost the air you can wear as you're stepping out this morning. So heads up. We do have this cold front that's going to continue to lift its way off towards our east, and with that, still going to fire up a stray shower or thunderstorm. We do have some showers riding right along southernmost parts of Maryland. A few of those showers still right around the Hagerstown area. Elsewhere, though, tracking dry conditions. We'll eventually notice a gradual clearing of those skies, a little bit more of that sunshine breaking out later on this afternoon, but then we could see that chance for a spot shower or storm developing later on today. More details on this, look at towards our rest of that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jackie. Breaking news out of Virginia this morning. Fairfax County police are investigating a crash involving 2 vehicles and a pedestrian. Now, this happened last night on Gallows Road and Prosperity Avenue. A woman taken to the hospital with what we're told are life-threatening injuries. Both drivers stayed on the scene. And a man is dead after being shot by a Howard County police officer. Now, this happened last night near Carter's Lane in Columbia. Police were originally called to the scene by a man who said he was stabbed by one of his family members. When they arrived, officers say that they saw the suspect armed with a large spear. Now, according to police, that is when he approached officers and refused to drop the weapon. The suspect was then shot. He died at the scene. The family member who was stabbed is in critical condition this morning. Per Maryland law, Attorney General's office is taking over the investigation. And violence in the district continues. 7 people shot at 3 different locations within hours of each other. This happened in Northeast. Now, one was a quadruple shooting where a man was killed. The deadly shooting happened yesterday afternoon on Mount Olivet Road. Now, police say 3 people got out of a car, opened fire, then drove off. They say 4 people were shot. Investigators say 1 man died, 3 others were rushed to the hospital.
But in the heat of the argument, whatever it is about, they introduce a gun into the equation and they fire, and that's irresponsible. And so we certainly understand the community's concerns.
Investigators are still looking for the suspects, but earlier yesterday morning, there were 2 other shootings on Benning Road. One incident injured a man. About an hour and a half later, 2 men were injured in separate shootings. Investigators are looking into all 3 incidents to see if they are connected.
No National Guard! No National Guard! Say Trump out now! Say Trump out!
Right there, you heard from protesters in LA. Since Friday, they've been loudly speaking out against ICE raids in the area, taking control of streets and holding protests outside of immigration detention facilities. Now, despite guidance from California leaders, President Trump sending in 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to take control of the situation.
We would bring more in if we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. He's let people come in by the millions who are overrunning your hospitals, your education system, and your police.
Many local politicians, like Governor Gavin Newsom, arguing that sending in troops is only escalating tensions and making things worse. So stay tuned. We have more coverage of the protests in LA coming up in our next half hour. Well, in the district, law enforcement increasing security around the National Mall in preparations for Saturday's military parade to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday. The event, which coincides with President Trump's 79th birthday, set to bring in hundreds of thousands of people. Our Candace Cole joins us now live from outside of the White House with more on this. Candace, good morning.
Good morning, Tanaya. Well, law enforcement is actually coordinating security for two separate events. The first is the festival that goes along with the celebration of the Army's 250th birthday. That will be all day on Saturday, followed by the actual parade itself, which is set to kick off at 6:30 that evening. And I'll just step out the way because part of those efforts include fencing that's up like this, which you can see here. Now, the Secret Service says it's bringing in agents from across the country to secure the areas around the White House, the National Mall, and the parade route along Constitution Avenue, as more than 200,000 people are expected to turn out for these events. Those areas will be blocked off with miles of fencing. And there's also a map showing the different areas that will be blocked to foot traffic and also road closures. Now, there will also be magnetrometers put in place at different checkpoints throughout the vicinity for the festival and then later on for the parade.
On the ground, we're taking proactive steps to reinforce the area. You will see 18.5 miles of anti-scale fencing, 17 miles of bike rack, concrete barriers, 175 magnetometers, and officers from federal, state, and local agencies standing post. You may also notice multiple drones operating in the area.
Now, all of these extra barriers and fencing and the magnetometers are expected to come down around the 19th, so about a week later. But the other thing to mention here is that Secret Service says there are about 9 counter-protests planned for Saturday. As of right now, they don't anticipate any problems to arise out of them, but they will have people on the ground just in case. For more information on security protocols for Saturday, you'll want to head over to mpdc.dc.gov for more information. Reporting in Lafayette Square, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
Thank you, Candace. Now, over the past few years, thousands of Afghan refugees have come to the D.C. area, but Afghanistan is now on President Trump's travel ban list, and the decision is weighing heavy on the minds of those already in our area. The ban, well, that went into effect yesterday. The U.S. is still making exceptions by issuing special immigrant visas for those who worked in the U.S. government, but there are significant concerns for people who did not come with their families during the evacuation of Afghanistan back in 2021. We went to the Afghan market in Alexandria to find out how people are feeling.
Compare Afghanistan to United States, it means like you compare hell to paradise. The bad and good now, the immigrants, they're getting mixed with each other, so it's kind of difficult to separate them.
Now, most people we spoke with say they are disappointed in the ban. They're worried about those who have families still here, but are still in the Middle East. All right, well, a warning for rail riders. Federal budget cuts for Amtrak could impact your commute. Transportation officials say they're cutting the budget for the Northeast Corridor by 25% to $850 million. Now, the route connects D.C. with New York City and Boston. Amtrak says losing the funding will put the future projects at risk. And World Pride weekend did big numbers for Metro. Metro Rail saw a peak in riders on Friday with more than 500,000 people hopping on board. There were 463,000 riders during the Pride Parade Saturday, and about 250,000 took the Metro on Sunday. And Metro is making changes for service on the blue, orange, and silver lines. Now, WMATA says it is repairing the signaling system, so the 3 lines are currently running on a single track. Now, this is between Eastern Market and Cheverly on the orange line. The blue and silver lines are single track between Eastern Market and Addison Road. WMATA said it is working to minimize disruptions for morning commute after the significant delays that happened yesterday. All right, well, check this out. A black bear spotted and removed from Maryland twice, back in the DMV. Look at this. This time it was in Northern Virginia. We have been following this bear since Memorial Day. He's been in Langley Park, Bethesda, and yesterday spotted wandering across yards in Herndon. Wildlife officials recapturing the animal at about 7 o'clock last night. Our Daniel Hamburg was there while dozens of people watched this unfold.
It's not often you spot a black bear in your backyard.
Some very frantic lady went past and went, "There's a bear 2 streets up."
First spotted near Alabama Drive this morning, the bear made its way to Eldon Street and nestled in a tree.
He was there for quite a bit, took a nice poop. Looking down. Then I went home for dinner, and I came back, and then I watched him come out of this tree.
This tree in a backyard off Center Street, where the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources tranquilized the bear before it fell down and stumbled across the backyard here.
That's one of those things where you got more chance of lightning striking you than you actually witnessing it. I guess it's being in the right place in the right time.
Herndon's mayor, Kevin LeBlanc, lives just 2 houses up.
It's very surreal. we see foxes and sometimes deer will come up to the back porch, but we've never had anything as big as bears. So, yeah. And he seemed, I think someone said he was a teenager, so certainly on the younger side. And so we hope that, he has a good life.
Neighbors watching lovingly named the bear Eldon after the street name.
What can we say? We're a very inclusive town in Herndon, and we love to invite all of our guests.
He overstayed his welcome a little bit. I mean, I'm glad he's safe. He'll have a nice little Uber ride to wherever he's going.
All right, well, that Uber ride was in a cage in the back of a pickup truck. The mayor tells us the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources taking the bear to Shenandoah National Park. They hope that it will have a lot of space to roam and not come back to the neighborhoods. All right, your time now is coming up on 6:11 on a Tuesday. A Cavs legend says his farewells. Coming up, hear the goodbye to the team and the NHL. And also ahead, a quick response and a life saved. Coming up this morning, the body camera footage of a Bowie police officer saving a boy from drowning. But first, we are taking a live look outside this morning. Jackie, what can people expect when they step out?
Now, mainly cloudy skies out there right now. Could see that stray shower or storm, really depending on your location. More details, but more of that sunshine breaking out later on today as those highs climb into those 80s. All the latest right after the break.